Awaiting command. Target eliminated.
Okay. I should be live now. Alright, let's get in on everything. Okay. Let's start with here. My alt, I believe, has something with the... to do with the old man here on our official island. So I'm gonna go look for the old man real quick. And then we go on from there after I go find him. Where is that old man? Oh, he's right here. Cool, at least he's in an easy spot. Hi, Anna Spirit. Welcome, welcome. I just finished recording my stuff for like NT video and stuff like that. It goes over a bunch of the news stuff and whatever. I have like a DaVinci Resolve tab like window open on this machine right now that I haven't done the export yet, so I can upload it after. I'm gonna do that at the end after I end the stream. But there's apparently a bunch of other stuff that came out earlier today, or news and stuff like that we'll look over. So it's pretty much just gonna be like a short react stream for a bunch of stuff after I get all my other things done. But yeah. I also went and changed the XLR cable for my microphone because that came in, well, it actually came in yesterday. It's just I didn't stream and stuff yesterday because it was a kind of a pain to get the wires and stuff replaced. Part of it was because there were some issues and stuff like that with the wires. Oh, I didn't update Sheep Chat properly. I didn't reconnect it. I think it should be working now. Oh, but yeah. I didn't update the thing there. I guess I could clear it, but yeah, whatever. Do I need to kill the things here too on my alt? But yeah, tomorrow's like the end of the month. Like last day of the month. It's crazy. February just like went by so quickly. Right, like everything was just like busy and packed for like the earlier parts of the month. Oh, so I did go and kill the thing here, so that was like, I guess that's the second time we had the old man on the thing this week. Interesting. Alright, that is quite interesting here. But yeah, I know there was like, what, Pokemon Day and stuff like that was earlier. I was asleep and stuff during that. So I haven't looked at any of the news or announcements and stuff like that. But I'm assuming they announced a bunch of new stuff, and then like there was like, what, Pokemon Champions and everything. I remember that was supposed to release last year, but then it got delayed, so I'm assuming maybe we have like a release date now of that. I know someone wanted me to react to the direct, because like, it was definitely sent to me in my reacts thing. I did see it there. So we'll take a look at that later as well, because it could be interesting when we get to reacts. Okay. We got to get dailies and stuff done. Oh, and there's people doing Break from Destiny. But yeah, we gotta get our raid and stuff done. Raid final trial for the daily. Right, we got that stuff to do. Eventually, I need to find time to do all the event stuff there. And then I was like looking more through like some the stuff that I had like my wish list and stuff like that on Steam and whatever that I put at some point at in the past. Apparently, we have more demos of games that are releasing soon to try. Maybe we'll do that like next week, sometime next week. That like I somehow missed. So we got cool stuff there too. Alright, let's get Raid and Final Trial done. But yeah, hi there Tara. Welcome, welcome. So we got stuff there as well. Yeah, really has just been all over the place lately. We've just been busy. Trying to get everything done. Right, come on. Do people not want to do freaking Raiden Final Trial? What do you mean I sound dead? What do you mean? Maybe like I messed around with some settings or something earlier when I was like... I changed my XLR cable. But like, I don't think I sound dead. I don't think so. I don't know why you think I sound dead. But yeah. I don't know, it seems normal to me. But yeah. What do you mean no energy? The hell you mean? Bruh, anyone? Like, no one wants to read in Final Trial? Am I gonna have to, like, solo it? I'm pretty sure I can solo it. Bum people. What do you mean I crawled out of my grave? Alright, we're at 3 out of 8 now. Four out of 8. What do you mean? I can hear it here. What do you mean? I can hear it here. Yeah, I can hear it. You sure? Sounds fine to me. I don't know where you get this no energy. The only thing different now is I changed the cable for my microphone. I don't know. What? A Bloodborne drama going on with Sony and Bluepoint saying they were not allowed to remake it? Really? Why wouldn't they be allowed to remake it? But that's kind of crazy. Why? Is Sony just mad because they want all the developers to just basically make fake movies pretending to be games? That's literally like every freaking PlayStation game for the most part in recent years. They're basically just movies pretending to be games. At best. Is that why? They're mad because they want to do it to an actual... They want to remake a game instead of more of their not or not a live service slop. Ah, it was under the Sony's decision? I see. Well, that's its own mess. Oh, who knows, man. Maybe we'll never get it. That's crazy. But yeah, that is pretty crazy that that's what's going on there. Oh, do I just have easy dailies this time? At least on my main, not my ult. I think my ult's more all over the place. I know, I heard about that, which is ridiculous because it's never gonna work. All I could say is the freaking clowns in office there are fucking retarded and they're wasting a bunch of time. The whole thing is open source and people will just fork around it. That's part of the whole reason why there's like so many different distributions of Linux. They're not gonna agree to that shit. It's just never gonna work. The whole thing is just ridiculous and absurd anyways, and has no reason to exist. Outside of, they just want to stalk on your ass and spy on you. That's why it exists, not because of anything else. It's just, you know, they're just using it as a euphemism for the, for what they really mean is they want to spy on your ass. And they want all your data. They don't actually give a shit about the children. Especially when a lot of the people passing that shit were on that island. Yeah, and you can compile your own Linux kernel if you want. You can go do it yourself. Oh shit. But like, yeah. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. You can literally do whatever. You can... Hey, if you don't like how one distro of Linux looks, you can basically delete your desktop environment and install a different desktop environment if you wanted to. This shit would literally let you do whatever you want. And yeah, like, people could just not put that stuff in. The whole thing is just ridiculous and just overall retarded. Oh, I forgot to switch my weapons back. Whatever, that doesn't really matter. Yeah, they don't want you to own anything. And they want to rent everything so they can spy you to rent everything. Yeah, and I want to just get them all lined up and just kill their asses instead. That's what I want. But yeah. It's really not all that surprising. Well, just move to Linux, man. At this point, just actually go move to Linux. I highly doubt you're using stuff where you need to use Windows, at least for you.
The consequences of my anger can be quite severe.
Okay. Probably get people kill Frostbot. I got German Gond. What city is join off? I haven't seen it yet. Is it getting to get that done? Yeah, I need to finish the dailies on my alt as well. But yeah. That's not power creep, that's just me having a lot of stats. You'd actually be surprised, man. Hey. If I just inflated my stats and just kept freaking upgraded everything, of course I can do this much damage. I don't know what you mean, man. We literally played on the test server the other day and messed around with the upcoming unit that's coming out in like 2 weeks. If I don't max out the newest thing, I'm still gonna be weaker than I am right now. But yeah, hi Shonen Manga Protagonist. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. Like, who would have thought, oh yeah, if I have, let's say, over 100k attack and you have like 5k or 20k attack or whatever, I'm gonna be doing like absurd amounts more damage to you because my stats are just way higher and I have more than 100k attack. I have 135k attack. Oh wow. You know, if I have more than 5 times your stats, I'm going to at least do more than 5 times your damage. It's not that complicated. Imagine. Having more stats means I'll do more damage. I know, it's crazy. But if you get more stats, you'll do more damage. Alright, I'm just gonna get my alts dailies done. I mean, yeah, there's also the warp server. That stuff is a lot grindier and that's a bit different. Things are different there. But at the same time, it's like, what do you need the power for? What are you doing it for? Why are you playing these games? What is it that you want out of them? What is it that you're doing? Can you answer those questions? Keep in mind, at least for a live service game, at least even the gacha server, there is literally no difference from someone doing my level of damage and someone who can't do damage for shit in terms of income for resources. It's still the same, regardless at the end of the day. It's like the weird thing where, like, yeah, they don't put freaking premium currency as an endgame reward. You just get it from freaking weekly stuff. From your weekly stuff that literally anyone can do. Because it's just whatever activities here, just do whatever. If that was what your goal is. So in that sense too, if you don't really care about those game modes, or you don't really care about doing some of that stuff, you can straight up just ignore it all. There's no difference to in whether you actually partake in it or not. The only thing you get from it is just more gear. That's all you get from it. I mean, yeah, it's still an achievement. You gotta get the stats for it. That's all. You gotta get the gear for it. That's the achievement. Crazy, I know. What do you want then? Do you want a freaking gear system from a game where, like, you have better odds at winning the fucking lottery and becoming a multi-millionaire if you bought a ticket every time you got a piece of gear to drop? With some of the absurd random BS stat RNG in some of those games? Do you want that? Is that what you want? Where, like, you can randomly get fucked? Or maybe if you're lucky, you'll get your freaking winning lottery ticket? Because, man, like, in some of those other live service things out there, they literally have more RNG per gear slot than there is to win the fucking lottery. You know, guessing 6 numbers between, like, 50 possible values or something is a way higher odds than some of the gear systems in some of those gacha games out there. I am not joking. But a lot of people wouldn't know because they don't fucking teach people game theory and probability. They don't actually teach that shit in school. Another failure of the education systems. Yeah, if you like Warp, go play that. You don't have to play the gacha server. It's not like you need to. Warp server exists if that's what you want. Here, let me get some join ops. Did I get my dailies done on my ult? Yes, I did. Oh, I want to switch my weapon. I want Volt. Alright. Let's go get this stuff here done. Yep. They are making something for those who don't want that. It's not like the power creep is anything crazy anyways. same time, it's like, what freaking points are you using to measure it? Because I've also seen people go crazy and measure 3 data points and compare it to 1 single data point. Which is not exactly a fair or direct comparison, because, you're not comparing the same things. But hey, it is what it is. Alright, let's keep going. Do-do-do-do. I mean, you can state your opinion, and other people can state their opinions on your opinion. But, you know, ideally, if you're gonna have a discussion, actually try to have a discussion instead of just ignore everything. Alright, let's just go kill the thing here. Right, that's another daily done. But like, yeah, it's like if you don't get the gear, even if you were to get the latest shit, if you don't have the stats, you're not gonna do the damage. But like, yeah, sure there is power creep, but it's a lot smaller than you'd think. Too bad a lot of people don't bother measuring the same types of data points to directly compare. Right, like, you know, with the way a lot of people have acted over certain things, it's kind of like, it kind of gives the vibe of when Jensen went on stage and said the 5070 gave 4090 performance, which is obviously false. Which is obviously false, because the 5070 is not as fast as a 4090. It's more like half the speed of a 4090 in practice. It's more like half of a 4090, not a 4090. Because again, they weren't comparing the same types of data there. But yeah, hi Flagger. Oh, welcome, welcome. Which way is the exit again? Oh, this way. But honestly, like, the stuff with ToF is pretty chill if you're just playing it more casually. Yeah. What's funny though is the way they measure that type of data is in a lot of cases, is no different with how people were comparing ToF power creep because they weren't measuring the same type of data. They were measuring two completely different things. And tried to say it's the same. That said though, there is a 4090 that is slower than a 5070. That would be the 4090 mobile. The 4090 mobile, which runs at like a little over 100 watts, and is actually just a cut down 4080, is slower than a desktop 5070. But that's because the freaking NVIDIA naming scheme and stuff for their mobile GPUs is a mess. Like, the fun fact, in some cases, a 3060 desktop GPU is faster than a 4070 mobile. In some cases. Which isn't surprising because the 4070 mobile is the same chip as the 4060 Ti, just with like less than half the power budget and clocked way lower. So it makes sense. But it's also hella confusing. Like, it was funny when, I think it was back in 2016, NVIDIA was like, they finally simplified their, like, mobile chip by having them just be the desktop GPUs and everything. And basically be almost the same performance as the desktop counterparts for all the stuff across their entire product stack. And then I think it was with the, then starting with Ampere, they're like, yeah, fuck that. We're just gonna make everything hella confusing and not have them mean the same thing anymore. But yeah. It is what it is, unfortunately. I really wish someone would make a mod so we could skip these cutscenes. They're annoying. That's something I would always would want to bypass. It's like, yeah, they take forever. But yeah. Anyways, I'm just getting all my stuff here done. Now we're just going through everything across, well, everything. Okay. Alright, let me just move the thing over. I should, like, finish doing all my weekly stuff, actually. I should get some of that stuff done. Is there anything else I need to get done here, though? Yeah, and then tomorrow I can get the last of that thing done for the week. That's nice. At least it was just another easy week. I gotta get, like, started on farming the event stuff, though. That'll need to get, like, started on at some point. I claimed all that then. Is there anything else I need to get done? Or do we just do the Snowbreak stuff now and then do the reacts? Because, like, yeah, it's just... The stream for today is just gonna be a really short one. Partly because I have a DaVinci Resolve open in the background, and I do want to get my project exported, so I can get that video on there uploaded later. And part of it is for that. Of course, there's other reasons too. Alright, I don't think there's anything else I needed there. Alright, cool. Yeah, I guess we move on to the next thing then. Didn't take us long to do our stuff here in ToF. It's always quick and short here. Until I actually go and do some of the other stuff. Yeah, I've been meaning to upload my video on the CBT 3 for a while. But like... I recorded it earlier before I did the stream and I edited it, but I haven't clicked the export thing yet, because the export's gonna be a lot bigger than I thought it would be. So I'm gonna get that done afterwards. But yeah. Let's get our Snowbreak stuff done first though. Alright, let's get Snowbreak open. But yeah. That's kind of like the thing there. I also like went over like the the roadmap and stuff in it. I covered that in. I basically covered in my coverage of the I combined like my thoughts on the closed beta with the news on the what's it called again? The roadmap or whatever and the release date. I basically combined all of those into one video instead of making it multiple separate ones. But part of it also is because like it was a great way to like pad out and like get the video really expanded on, because I did not have enough time to go scrub through 100+ hours of VOD footage to really put things together. I just looked through bits and pieces and used some of it as clips in there, but yeah. Alright. Let's get the stuff here done. Right, did I get everything important done yet? Alright, dump it there. But yeah. It's releasing on the 29th, but yeah. Wait, when's Easter this year? I didn't even check. Oh, April 5th. Okay. I mean, it's going to release, you know, a couple weeks after that. Oh yeah, I still haven't done Star Wars Trials. Okay, we still got like 9 more days left in the patch. Cool. So I still got time to like do all the other event stuff. Do do do. Oh, here we go, journal.
Adjutant? Judging by that spring in your steps, someone's in a good mood today.
Oh, I forgot to do the thing here last week. Somehow. You sure? I thought it was, I thought it said like April 5th or something. I don't know, I just did a quick Google search. What the hell? Okay, I got the most unusual text ever. I don't even have an Instagram account, but apparently I do. I am so confused. My phone just like went off, and it gave me some sort of fake notification about an Instagram account that doesn't exist because I don't have one. I'm like, okay, sure. I don't know, man. I don't have an Instagram account. I value enough of my privacy that I wouldn't make one. I have no need to make one, and there's no reason for me to ever make one. I don't need to give Facebook my info. I'm good. They can't have my data. What would they be hacking, man? I think it's just like some weird freaking, they just scam text or whatever pretending to be something. And trying to like get something out of people. I'm pretty sure it's one of those. But they can't get anything out of me when I don't even have one in the first place. But yeah. Just a very weird random freaking notification text to get at 12:30 a.m. Yes. I need to clean my friends list here. Oh god. Wait, we got stuff there to finish. Do I need to do the regular suicide mission again? What's Ham Boss Showdown? I'll just do private. I don't know how this works. I'll go try the boss showdown one.
Game on. The
Nice,
showdown
80
between
stream
Ham and
streak.
Hero starts now.
Okay, let's Scorch. I can burn.
Alright team, let's secure another perfect clear. You're owning. Take them all out.
Alright, wave 2.
Alright team, let's secure another perfect clear.
Wait, you can just abuse trampoline? Okay.
Take a quick rest. You'll need it for the next round. Bam! Loot drop. Grab it fast.
What is this loot thing? What is this stuff that I'm picking up?
Alright team, let's secure another perfect clear. Nice damage. You're owning. Take them all out. You're owning. Take them all out. Take a quick rest. You'll need it for the next round.
Oh, you can go all the way up
Got some
here?
Goodies for you, darling. Go gear up. Shotgun.
Okay.
Alright, team, let's secure another perfect clear. Grenade launcher. Nice damage. Grenade launcher.
What grenade launcher? I don't have one.
need it for the next
How the hell
round.
did they teleport to me?
Bam! Loot drop. Grab it fast.
What do those things that I pick up even do?
Reward round starting. Time to bring your A game. You're owning. Take them all out. You're owning. Take them all out. Nice damage. You're owning. Take them all out. Take a quick rest. You'll need it for the next round.
But yeah. Alright, what's next?
Alright, team. Let's secure another perfect clear. Nice damage.
Too bad we can't aim down the sight.
Nice damage. Nice damage.
This is so stupid.
You're owning. Take them all out. Nice damage. Owning. Take them all out.
What the hell is going on?
You're owning. Take them all out. Take a quick rest. You'll need it for the next round.
Okay.
Drop some goodies for you, darling.
I mean, hacking Pokemon into those games is not difficult. People will find a way. It's really not that hard. People will find a way and do whatever they
Alright,
do
team.
regardless.
Let's secure another perfect clear. Shotgun. Nice damage. You're a grenade launcher. Nice damage. Nice damage. You're owning. Take them all out. Nice damage.
Oh, I failed.
Tough
Yeah,
break.
people are just gonna freaking just abuse Ace and crap anyways. people will just abuse that stuff. Okay. Also, no need to modify the game for the tickets. They give you the tickets after you beat the Elite Four. So you can get Ho-Oh, Lugia, and Deoxys. Oh, that's nice. Are they gonna get rid of the whole mythical status stuff from Pokemon, though? Because, like, all that stuff is kind of ridiculous. Especially when they've basically gotten to the point where, you know, with all those static encounters and stuff like that, you can just get the event and everything. They added adding a filter for the names. Can you still do apostrophe S space ass for your rival? Because, like, in those older games, that's how it would name my rival. You know, my rival is always apostrophe space, and an apostrophe S space ass. That way I can be challenged by my rival's ass, or Pokemon Trainer's ass. And Pokemon Trainer's ass can go send out a Jigglypuff or whatever. That's what I always used to do. Heck, when we had BDSP and I played that on stream like 4 years ago, that's what I named my rival. So I would say I was challenged by Pokemon Trainer's ass. It was great. I can probably come up with something. But, like, not that I would play the freaking thing there. I'm not gonna freaking buy it and play it on there. I got the original cartridges, why am I gonna play the thing on Switch Online? I have the originals. But yeah. Oh. Well, it is what it is. I need to use the Acacia skill once. In April? Okay.
Eyes on me, darling. Here comes my Spinnaker.
And Gen 10 is next year. I say. Oh, now to get this stuff done. Alright, enjoy your background noise then, Kazuki. Well, I haven't seen the thing there, the direct or whatever. I saw that it was sent. We can look at it later when we're in Reacts. But yeah, this stream is gonna be on the shorter run this time. What do you mean pot of gold at the end of a rainbow? What rainbow? What rainbow? I need the spark cannon thing to get upgraded now. Alright, we got another drill. Alright. Come on. Bro, I want the thing that fuses them. Not that. That is so troll. There we go. Look at the orbs go. Those deadly orbs. Alright, they'll trigger bombardment. Alright, now we get another drill. And then another drill. But yeah, Iaxum. Welcome, welcome. Wait, is it even gonna shoot its drills now? Alright, let's get that one done for Marion first. Okay, I'm gonna have to like get all of that done. And then there's still this, whatever this shit is. That we'll have to get done. What else is here? Alright, what's this battle start here?
ブブ分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。ブブ分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。くらえ。なんてったってヘイムダルだから。
Alright, you can start up your golems.
Don't slow me down, okay?
So you can use this to just get various different cards to use.
Don't slow me down, okay? 異常なし、新装備との相性よし。あとは私に任せてよし。くらえ。
Was that supposed to be hard?
異常なし、新装備との相性よし。あとは私に任せてよし。人魚開。シャドウドライブ。Don't slow me down, okay? シャドウドライブ。諸悪滅上。滅。
Alright, and start up Rally Hero. Wait, how many do I need then? I guess I need like multiple of a lot of the other things. Okay.
Don't slow me down, okay?
So what do we get from this mode? What does it get us? Okay. Right, do lesson 1. Oh, and then you can just... Okay, so that's how it is. You want to do explore mode first to get better guys. And then get them upgraded, then take them to the next
分
thing.
析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。ブブ、分析
So that's how
員の
this
期
mod
待は
works.
絶対裏切らないもん。くらえ。楽勝だったね。ブブ、分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。くらえ。Don't slow me down, okay? 異常なし、新装備との相性よし。あとは私に任せてよし。くらえ。Don't slow me down, okay? 異常なし、新装備との相性よし。あとは私に任せてよし。楽勝だったね。シャドウドライブ。邪気が有効越境。諸悪滅上。滅。
Easy. And then I can go and upgrade them. Oh, and then that's how you do it. Okay. I see. So you have to like combine them with the same kind of thing. Alright, now that's 3-star. Oh, and then they have like a stack cap and everything. Okay, and then we can put that in there. And I guess you just keep farming and upgrading them.
ブブ分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。異常なし、新装備との相性よし、あとは私に任せてよし。Don't slow me down, okay? Don't slow me down, okay? ブブ分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。くらえ。Don't slow me down, okay?
Why would I want a random buff? What is this?
ブブ分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。
Oh, that's kind of pointless.
ブブ分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。くらえ。万象入居。有効越境。楽勝だったね。シャドウドライブ。諸悪滅上。滅。
So you just keep farming this shit. Okay. Good to know. Alright, let's see. So you just gotta like just start up everything slowly. And then fuse them until you get more stuff out of them. Okay. And then they give you trials of stuff there. Cool. I guess we could go to a Reinx now then. I'll go deal with the stuff here later. Yeah. Let me just claim the thing here.
Nice pick, darling.
Yep, you're also everything else there is it in order? It looks like everything else is in order. Oh wait. Yeah, there's still all that stuff I need to get done. Okay. Let's go switch over then to just chatting. Alright, let's go get the other stuff done now. The Reinx, and then we end off. Because this is a shorter stream. So it's react time. Alright, what did people send me? So Papa Jeff was doing glitches and that. Okay. Alright, here we go. They added more notes about Pokemon Championship, including details on paid membership perks. Oh, wait. What is this? Alright, Cerebi got info here. Wait, no, we should probably go look at the direct first. There's like a bunch of stuff I was sent. Oh, so it's called Winds and Waves. Okay. No, I would not do it. Bleeding is, not something I want to do or deal with. Wait, what is this one? I can no longer stay silent about Toblerone. What is this satire video? I kind of want to see this. What happened?
So if you've been plugged into Arknights Endfield, you might have seen this whole exchange between Kukikaze and Tobero, and I'm not too interested in like the nitty gritty of what happened
What exchange?
specifically between them, but
What?
this whole saga kind of got me thinking about these overarching concepts of how we criticize these gacha games. For the uninitiated, for those who don't know, this whole spat between these two, the main claim that is kind of being made is that Tobero's criticisms of the game aren't meant to actually help the game or improve it, but rather just like farm clicks off of negativity, aka grifting, basically. It's really hard to attribute motive to any singular person. It's impossible to get in someone's head and say definitively that they're blatantly lying lying or saying things they don't believe for clicks and money. So I'm not attributing motive here myself, but I think if we're looking at how someone communicates, I think the unfortunate reality is that how you present ideas is sometimes just as important as the ideas you're presenting, perhaps even more so, because if you don't present ideas well, then many people that you're trying to reach won't be open to listening to you. And you can say that's stupid and we should all set our egos aside and be able to separate emotional reactions from analytical points that are being made. And yeah, that'd be great, but that's kind of just not how human nature works most of the time. You know, like growing up as kids, we're told all the time, like, just be yourself, just express yourself. And that's true to some extent, you know, like it's good to be genuine and authentic, but the harsh reality is that that's also kind of a lie, because you know, if you present ideas in a hostile way, you'll often attract a hostile response. Like, here's the classic example, right? Let's say you're chilling in a group of friends, and let's say that one of your friends notices that you're smelling kind of bad, okay? You're kind of stinky. Would you prefer the friend that pulls you aside privately and is all like, hey bro, you're kind of smelling bad, I suggest wearing some deodorant next time, something like that? Or would you prefer the friend that calls you out for stinking in front of everybody and starts making fun of you, and then everyone starts clowning on you and making jokes at your expense, and then from then on you have the reputation of the person who smells bad? Okay, but then they hide behind this shield of, I just wanted to let you know because I thought it would be better than saying nothing, etc., etc. So like, the truth of the matter is that you were stinky and you didn't know, and the only way that the problem gets solved is if someone tells you so that you can address it. But which friend and which approach are you more likely to appreciate, and which one are you more likely to be resentful towards? I think if the intention is to truly, you know, help the game improve, then this type of language, like inflammatory language that is used, probably fails in that mission, no matter how many views a video gets, because you won't be attracting the players who actually play the game and respond in surveys, and that devs feel that they can actually reach, because those players will be turned off by the severe language. And that's just how human nature is. If you like something, you just don't want to necessarily watch a video that is relentlessly shitting all over it for an hour and a half. And you got to remember that developers are people too, the same exact way that anyone would get annoyed from overly toxic criticism. Developers can also get turned off by criticism like that. There's a clip actually that talks about that from Maximilian.
I learned that like developers accepting criticism is a weird thing, is there are also people in the same way that we make content and we see people react to our shit. You get people that are just purely negative and you're like, damn, just a hater. I will never get them on my side. I can write that bitch a check for $1,000. Their opinion would not change. So in the same way, developers look at the big haterade content for a lot of games and go like, that's not our core audience. That message doesn't actually matter. Like, we don't need to appeal towards them. But if you're like, hey, this game has this that are great and it's really good and it's running good, but this and this and this and this and this, these are big ass problems. So finding that criticism middle ground became really important to me.
So while we can't really attribute motive to the dude, like whether the intention is to tear down the game or improve it or whatever, I think we can analyze whether this kind of communication is effective in achieving the stated goal of improving the game. And I don't think it was. I think there's more effective ways to communicate criticism. And yes, again, in a perfect world, we should all set aside our emotions and just keep our egos out of it and just listen to feedback based on the quality of the criticism rather than how it makes us feel. And that's true, but I just don't think human nature works that way, unfortunately. Maybe in very important things like IRL politics that actually affects people's lives, we could make the effort to do that for the common good, but people don't even do it for that. So how can we expect it over gacha games? You can kick and scream that it's not fair and that people should do that, but so here's the thing about that, right? I think if that's how you want people to behave, then you should be able to set the example, because talking in an inflammatory way and presenting your feedback in an emotional way that is likely to make people angry, it is emotional and it invites a further emotional response because you're setting the tone for the entire conversation. You know, in modern day, for whatever reason, I think a lot of people think that if you're talking in a calm tone, then you must be non-emotional and you're speaking logically, but that's just how slow tone, and we think that person must be speaking from a place of logic and rational thought. I think it's perfectly possible to be speaking passionately or loudly or whatever about ideas that have been logically well thought out, and you can also present emotional ideas in a very calm tone. The calm tone doesn't magically make the ideas and thoughts themselves like rooted in analytical thinking. Like the actual construction from point A to B to C of an argument is what truly matters and can still be rooted in emotions, right? No matter what the delivery boundary is like. Actually, remember Daniel Kahneman's type 1 and type 2 modes of thinking, where type 1 is the instinctive, fast, emotional thinking. Type 2 is slow, methodical, analytical form of thinking. And the primary trap being that Daniel Kahneman talked about is that humans tend to think they're engaging in the type 2 analytical thinking when they're actually mostly engaging in type 1 thinking.
Yep.
There's no bigger fake out for the type 1 thinking disguised as type 2 than delivering type 1 thinking in a calm tone. The difference between type 1 and type 2 thinking is it's essentially just the fabled quote unquote critical thinking skills, which is another term that everyone loves to throw out all the time, especially to describe the difference between how they think and how everyone that disagrees with them thinks. But definitionally, critical thinking just means that someone is stopping to consider all of the possible thoughts that did not jump out at them immediately given the stimulus. And you can probably see how Daniel Kahneman's type 1 and type 2 thinking come into play with this definition of critical thinking, because it basically works like this. Given some sort of stimulus, your brain will subconsciously and automatically formulate some thoughts in response. That is also like how just biology works. That's like evolution. That's how our brains work. And that's type 1 thinking. Type 2 thinking, aka critical thinking, is when you stop and go back to consciously cycle through all the possible responses that you didn't think of the first time. For example, medical students learn to do this when they're making diagnoses on patients, because they'll be presented with some evidence and their brain will automatically jump to some conclusion, but they're trained to stop and then go back to consider all of the possibilities. It's called a differential diagnosis that didn't immediately jump out at them, so they don't get tunnel visioned on their immediate conclusion. I'm going to show this small statement from the intro of the Tobro video.
But if you find yourself offended by them simply because they are critical or you don't like the presentation, let me be clear, I make absolutely no apology.
With all of that being said about the type 1, type 2 thinking, you kind of have to ask yourself, which bucket does a statement like this fall into? Like if someone came up to you and said, it's my way or the highway, is that emotional thinking or is that like analytical thinking? And how willing are you to want to engage with that person as well? If someone came up to you and said, I'm going to criticize this thing about you in the meanest way possible, but it's for your own good. It's for your own good that you listen to me. And if you choose not to, then you're just an emotional idiot, actually. Like, how likely do you want to like hear that person out, But if someone came over and said, I'm going to criticize that person over there that you also don't like, and I'm going to do it in like the meanest way possible, I think that's the person that might be more receptive to that message. And this whole situation kind of gets at the heart of why we criticize these games in the first place. Ostensibly, it's so that improvement can be made to the game, but it's really hard to determine how much feedback like this actually influences gacha developers to make changes to the game. These gacha devs especially can be pretty cagey about this. I think there's one major conclusion that we can make about how gacha devs implement feedback, and it's that their driving force, like their North Star, is to optimize for two things, and that's retention and revenue. For example, there's this GameSpot article from October 2022 where GameSpot got to interview the Genshin devs. They asked about new endgame, and this was back when Spiral Abyss, there was only one endgame mode in the game. And the Genshin devs answered with this line that you hear a lot from gacha devs, which is that they were worried that adding new permanent endgame would create quote unquote excessive anxiety for players. And this is a textbook example of devs optimizing for retention, because they're worried here that if they add in too much content that needs to be completed on a cyclical basis, then casuals would get anxiety from having too much to do and they would drop out of the game. And it's something that we lose perspective on, I think, as people who actually consume content on the game, because we forget that we're actually like in the minority of people. So like we might be unanimous in always wanting more gameplay content and more combat content or whatever, but the devs are optimizing for the fact that the actual casual masses that play the game, that make up the vast majority, would be like scared off if they feel like the checklist of activities that they have to do grows too long. And this is also why small updates like quality of life improvement updates can be implemented quickly, because it's just strictly a retention upgrade, but some big sweeping changes could cause unforeseen consequences that end up hurting retention and revenue. Like we always talk about how we don't want these RNG slop gear systems that Hoyo and Wuwa use so religiously. They stick to them because it's a proven strategy for good retention, and probably especially so for casual players. And changing gearing to another system might cause all these like secondary, tertiary effects that hurt retention or revenue. But the takeaway is that devs probably do pay attention to forums and especially in-game surveys to keep a thumb on the pulse of what players are asking for, but they'll only implement changes that don't put retention and revenue at risk, and will, ideally be a boon, like a benefit to those things. So when we give feedback and we're discussing solutions, I think it's important to remember that feedback always exists as a compromise between the players and the devs, devs, and it's especially effective if you can justify the change as improving the two most important things to the company, which is retention and revenue. So like I've talked about this before, and I'm all about like pushing against companies, and especially gacha companies, to try and get better monetization and better games. But the reality of the situation is that every change that's made would have to be essentially a compromise, in this like tug of war between players and the company. I think most of us have no interest in optimizing revenue for billion-dollar gacha companies. So most of our feedback would be aimed at increasing retention. It seems pretty obvious because you give criticism to improve the game and make it a better game, because a better game will naturally keep you playing longer. And that's literally retention. But the real kick in the nuts here is that the billion-dollar companies have access to just absolute metric tons of user data that we will never be privy to, and they'll use that data to optimize for retention using reliable data-driven solutions rather than vibes-based solutions that we can come up with, like, you know, make the combat more strategic or whatever it is. But you know, I don't mean any of that to say that I think it's still valuable to give criticism, because I think companies do watch forums and in-game surveys to determine what players are kind of asking for. I think they know kind of what players want at any given time, but I think they also are not always willing to just give exactly what players want. For example, the Genshin devs spoke about some changes they were making to story structure going into 6.0 with Nodcry and these were pretty significant changes from the approach they used in the previous region of Natlan for storytelling. And in my opinion, the changes were a massive success. Natlan to Nodcry was one of the biggest deltas in storytelling I've ever seen between consecutive regions, and I think Nodcry was like the best main story that Genshin's ever gotten. I think their changes paid off, but that was probably a combination of there had to have been user data backing up that people were not as happy with the approach they used in Natlan, because you really cannot deny that the approaches were very different, and the strategies that were used were very different, and the storytelling was very different. And then if you look at Wuthering Waves as well, they are very quick to implement quality of life improvements, right? Like certain, and I think they can only do that by having their thumb on the pulse of like what people are actually asking for. Once it happens 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times that players start asking for a certain quality of life improvement, and it's done in like the next 1 or 2 patches, I think there's a pretty clear pattern that they're like actually, you know, noticing what people are asking for. And I think that also shows the willingness of developers to quickly implement like quality of life update into the game, because it's like a strict retention upgrade. But I think also if you look at Wuthering Waves, you can tell that they just feel safer doing quality of life improvements rather than making big sweeping changes to gameplay systems, like maybe changing the RNG Echo Gear system, adding more combat focused events. And most likely they don't do these things because their internal data tells them their casual audience would rebel at these changes. When it comes to the story, they're very stubbornly committing to this episodic style of storytelling where it's kind of like flavor of the month. Banner character gets their one-on-one adventure with the rover,
that's
and then
basically all
their banner is over, and then they'll probably never have any meaningful character development again in a story quest. I think Kuro has shown that they are capable of crafting really great story experiences and interesting characters, like, you know, Ameth and Frolova are some of the most popular. But I think there's a strong case to be made that these stories are only weaker from being forced into episodic structure rather than adhering to more classical fantasy storytelling structure that stories like George R. R. Martin with The Song of Ice and Fire, or Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, or that The Witcher uses. And Genshin actually kind of used this structure in Nodcry actually, which I think was a reason that it was so much more enjoyable. But that structure is basically just bringing all the characters together to let them forge bonds and relationships and let them interact. And then once that happens, you can then fracture the group and send smaller groups or individuals on their own respective missions or journeys before eventually, a lot of times they bring them back together at the end when they've all kind of like gone through some intense growth. In A Song of Ice and Fire, the whole cast is basically together at Winterfell at the beginning, and then everyone kind of fractures. Like Jon Snow goes to the Wall, the Lannisters and some of the Starks go to King's Landing, and like things just kind of like fracture. In Lord of the Rings, you have the forging of the Fellowship with the 9 members at Rivendell, and then they kind of go on for a while, and then there's the fracture, and then Sam and Frodo, and then Merry and Pippin, and then the Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas, Gandalf. At the beginning of The Witcher, Geralt and Yennefer and Ciri are allowed to come together and kind of form this family for even just for a little bit, and then they also fracture and end up kind of having their own journeys, and then at the very end they come back together. And then in Genshin and Nodcry, I mentioned, they actually bring the whole entire cast together. You'll see bonds being formed. There's moments where characters outside of the MC are like talking about their unique experiences that they kind of have a unique ability to connect on, and they'll kind of connect and form bonds, and there'll be different like webs of relationships. And then there'll be like a fracturing during the conflict where like characters will go on their respective missions, and they'll come back, and then they'll go out again. That's just kind of a classical storytelling strategy that is used for like large fantasy stories with like really large large cast or like very evolving cast. And I think that, you know, Kuro is hesitant to change from the episodic style to this other style because they've had a lot of success with their current storytelling method and they get a lot of praise for it and they have a lot of monetary success, so they're not really incentivized to risk alienating their audience by changing it now when they think it works for them, right? The only thing that would really incentivize them to change it would be if they have some sort of data driven thing in the background that's showing that it's not working for them anymore. And yeah, that the discussion on like storytelling and stuff probably deserves its own video, but circling back to the main topic, I think this video should be helpful when it comes to creating, you know, crafting criticisms, because now we kind of know what companies optimize for, which is revenue and retention, and we also know how to more, I think, effectively communicate both with the developers and with other players and et cetera, to have more productive conversations. All right, well, that's basically it for me. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, like and subscribe if
Okay, there was that one. Let's see. What the hell? Oh, Stop Killing Games press conference? Like, what happened with, I haven't like been following what happened after they got their votes for Stop Killing Games. Did they make any like crazy progress or something?
I'm switching to 24 now. Perfect.
Oh wait, this is long.
It should.
I'll save this then for another day. That one's a bit too long. How long is this one? If it's too long, I probably won't. I got Stardew Valley. 10-year anniversary? Okay. 2 new marriage candidates? Okay. Sure.
Hey guys, it's me, Concerned Ape, creator of Stardew Valley. Today is the 10-year anniversary of Stardew Valley.
Oh,
so
nice.
to commemorate this special milestone, I put together this video which shows off some old builds of the game, has some of my commentary about the development timeline, and highlights the various updates over the years and how Stardew Valley has changed over time. So I hope you find it interesting, and here we go.
Not yet, I haven't seen it yet.
2012.
I'll record the
So
reaction
this
to that
was the
stuff later,
original
because it's
name
what?
of Stardew Valley.
Is it like
called
30th
Sprout
anniversary
Valley,
of Pokemon or something?
which is an awful name.
So I could
that's
probably
why I
get a video out of
eventually
that.
changed it. But this was probably about 6 months into development. I had a functioning game, but it was very rudimentary, and I would say much more similar to the Super Nintendo Harvest Moon game than Stardew Valley is today. Of course, I grew up playing Harvest Moon for the Super Nintendo, and so I was heavily inspired by it. And, you know, my first target, you might say, for this game was to essentially emulate Harvest Moon for the Super Nintendo. That was my starting point, and then I wanted to expand a bit from there. As you can see, the pixel art basically looks like crap, but there are some things like the bus there that essentially made it into Stardew Valley. The basic design was there even 6 months into development, and you know, Stardew Valley took 4.5 years to release 1.0. So we can watch this for a little bit. You'll notice how it looks similar to Pelican Town. Some things are basically unchanged, but then other things are quite
It's
odd.
crazy that it looked like this at one point.
Pierre's got his daily wallpaper and flooring on display. Those portraits are kind of hideous.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, you know, if I had just released this game after 6 months, where would I be right now?
Yeah, because the game looks a
somehow
lot
I don't think that the
different
game
than
would have
that.
taken off. So, look at Clint.
Yeah,
But,
that
you know,
is,
This was like a part of essentially a training process for me. It was my education on being a game developer. I do think there's something special about the naive perspective of a beginner. It's untarnished, it's fresh, it's primal, and you can't really recapture that once you have experience. There's the original Gunther. Green hair in the sprite,
The sprite and then the portrait don't match. Yeah,
brown hair in the portrait.
yeah, they don't match.
I don't know what I was thinking. And the character movement speed is insane. I'm sure you guys would love that in Stardew Valley. I'll have to get you on Way of the Wind Part 100. Alright, let's show you the old mines real quick. The mines are one of the areas of Stardew that have gone under a lot of changes, probably the most changes of any, at least gameplay element.
So it's digging around in here.
However, some concepts have been there from the very beginning, like slimes. Slimes have always been there. Ladders down have always been there in one way or another. I guess I hadn't discovered the concept of knockback yet.
No knockback. Okay. Yeah, that is rough with no knockback.
The death sound has always been there. Alright, well, I think that's enough for Sprout Valley. So let's go ahead and jump to the next earliest build that I have. So here we have a build from 2013. I've probably been working on Stardew for maybe a little over a year at this
decent
point.
bit different now.
And it's radically different from that previous build that I showed you.
A lot different.
We're actually starting to see some things that look like Stardew Valley here. And I think at this point I was calling it Stardew Valley.
Okay.
However, things are kind of odd. The way the farmer looks is weird. The way he's running around is kind of weird. The colors are now more saturated, which is true to form, but yet that exact shade of Stardew Valley yellow dirt hasn't quite been established yet. But yeah, this version of Stardew Valley was basically more of like a sandbox idea. In this iteration, this was like the weirdest time for the game. I feel like it's like the Stardew Valley hit puberty here. But so you would like actually buy animals and buildings from your in-game menu rather than go to Robin. And there was that farm map you just saw. Like that was pretty cool, actually, that farm map. Now you guys are going to be mad at me that that's not in Stardew Valley anymore. But yeah, it was a little bit more of a simulation concept, I guess, than an RPG. Yeah, so back then I had item of the day and crop of the week. But
Okay.
I got rid of that because there's this fundamental problem where you can store things in chests in Stardew Valley. So this creates this incentive to just never ship anything until the crop is crop of the week or the item is item of the day. And I just don't think that's very fun. You don't ever want to incentivize things that aren't fun. That's Game Dev 101. Alright, you can see here it's starting to look like Pierre's. Starting to look like that old familiar shop. But anyway, maybe let's jump ahead a little bit and check out what the mines are looking like.
Oh, that looks a lot different now. Yeah, those dark spots as well. Okay.
So this was the era of the procedurally generated mines. My idea was I wanted to do like, I wanted the mines to be like Terraria, but, you know, top down instead of side scrolling. And it was this, you had these big procedurally generated levels.
Okay.
And you mined into the walls and uncovered ores and secrets within the walls, which I think was a cool idea, but for some reason I was just never able to really make it compelling, and it was very bug prone, which it just ended up being too complicated. I think it was maybe just beyond my ability. I don't know. Or maybe another way to think about it was just that it was too ambitious of a concept for the scope of this game. this should have been an entire game on its own. And, you know, if you've played Core Keeper, that's pretty much what Core Keeper is, which is a cool game, by the way. But yeah, when I saw Core Keeper, I was like, hey, someone finally did it. So, cool idea, but I had to make the hard decision to scrap all of it. And I spent a long time working on this, too. But
Yeah.
I made the decision to scrap all of it, and let's see, there's a bug right there. Do a simpler approach, which is the mines that are in Stardew Valley today, where it's not procedurally generated. There's some randomness, but the levels are all designed by hand.
Okay.
Here we have a goblin village, an underground goblin village. All this content completely scrapped from the game. And I mean, I don't regret it. Just because something sounds cool, just because the idea is cool, doesn't mean that it's gonna be fun or it's gonna be the right idea in practice. Oh, and by the way, underground goblin villages are not canon, alright? Anything you see here from previous builds
It's not canon. Okay.
is not considered to be canonical Stardew Valley. Alright, let's move on to yet another more recent version. So this one's from sometime in 2014. This was the title screen at that time. I mean, it's kind of glitching out, but it had these weird buttons on the side. And then when you loaded the game, there was this loading screen, which was kind of reminiscent of like The Sims.
Okay.
But I mean, it doesn't look too much different than the last build, but you start to see some more Stardew Valley things come into place, like the what we call the daytime money box in the upper right is there. Willie's shop is basically looking like it always does. We now have the community center in the game, and it looks essentially exactly the same as it does now. I'm not sure why there's this ugly yellow color. This ugly yellow filter over the entire screen. You'll notice Clint was a little less doughy back then. And Joe Jamart was not yet in town. Hat Mouse wasn't a thing yet. And the inside of the farmhouse was like very static. I don't even think you could move any.
It's worse than we're just freaking doing the reacts.
Kind of nice.
I don't really know what
and
to
stuff,
say.
but,
I've never
I mean, I
really
think
played
it's important
Stardew
that you can
Valley.
decorate your house. People love that.
Somewhat semi-retrospective, but it does look pretty cool, like how things have changed and evolved in there over the years before he eventually released it and everything. Because like we're seeing like a bunch of like really old build footage.
So this is from August 2015, which is only about a half year from launch.
Yeah.
But still, there are a
Oh, so
ton of
this is
things
after
that are like
from-
not
after
finished
launch
yet.
now.
So this shows just how much Stardew Valley kind of came together at the
It
last
was just sitting as
moment.
react.
The farmhouse still has this weird protuberance. Protuberance, is that a word? This
Okay.
weird thing, this nose sticking out right next to the door. I don't know what I was thinking there. But obviously I got rid of that at some point. The mailbox is still on the left, so that must have changed that. You know, it's like I did a ton of work in the last like 6 months. I think I was just at the point where I knew it was so close. I needed to finish the game. The finish line was so close. And that's what gave me the drive and the motivation to make all these little changes in the last 6 months to prepare the game for release. I think one of the most notable things was just that the farmer still had this weird, goofy look. This is not what the farmer looks like in Stardew Valley, so that was like a last-minute change, which I'm really glad about because I don't really like the way this looks. Looks kind of stiff.
Wait, what?
Kind of like a Pinocchio or something.
They want to make it mandatory to show ID to buy a phone. What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yep. There's the old classic Stardew Valley mines. So That's pretty much the last convenient footage that I have from before launch. I do want to give
That's
a shout
ridiculous,
out to my two
man.
beta testers, Bexy and Siri, who helped me find a ton
They
of
want
bugs
all
in the
your
game.
data, all your
Here's
information.
a screenshot from Bexy's farm. This is one of the first ever Stardew Valley farms. Looks pretty good. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, wait, then what's the other half of the video? There's like 10 more minutes.
So here we are, February 26th, 2016. The culmination of 4.5 years of work, the launch of Stardew Valley. A lot was riding on this because if it flopped, I would have been 4.5 years behind my peers with no money, no job experience. Would have been pretty depressing. I stayed up all night the night before because I found a bug and I had to fix it because the game was set to launch the
Yeah,
next morning.
I don't want
so
to.
that was highly stressful.
I don't even want to think about that.
On the first day of launch, Stardew sold just under 40,000 copies, which was already beyond my wildest dreams. After that first day, I knew that this was going to be a big deal. I knew that I could be a game developer from now on. It was really happening. Of course, I didn't really have time to think about that too much because there were immediately bugs being found in the game. And I spent the next... I think I released a patch every single day for the next 4 days after launch.
That's crazy.
Pretty big patches, too. But see, back then, the game was a lot simpler. There wasn't different languages. There wasn't multiplayer. It was just me working on it. So I could crank out it was only on Steam. I didn't have to make a console build. I didn't have to make a mobile build. So I could crank out updates at an extremely fast pace.
Okay.
I spent the rest of that spring fixing every bug that people found and trying to add meaningful improvements to the game with each patch. I was releasing patches pretty rapidly. Some notable examples were Grandpa's Shrine and his evaluation. When the game first came out, Grandpa was extremely harsh, and he was almost a little bit rude. You know, if you didn't do a good job, he would say, "Man, I should have bequeathed the farm to my other grandkid." And there was no way to reevaluate. If you didn't get, the 4 spirit candles the first time, forget about it. So I softened that, and I also added in the way that you can, have them come back and reevaluate. Here's another example. On March 20th, I added unique dialogues for all the spouses. So I don't remember this, but apparently before then,
Mostly
every
the
single
latter.
spouse had identical dialogue, and people still
Mostly the
complain about
latter,
this. But
I'd
there's
say.
been a ton of work on the spouses over the years, and it just goes to show that, even though Stardew Valley was launched, in my mind it was not its ultimate form. That's why I kept making updates. That's why I essentially, as soon as these bug fix patches were out of the way, I immediately started working on the 1.1 update, which is the first major content update.
Okay.
So I'll just briefly go over the updates. If you want to see everything that's been added to Stardew Valley, I recommend going to the version history page on the Stardew Valley wiki. But yeah, the 1.1 update added 4 new farm types and kind of established the tradition of every update adding new farm types to the game. And notably, it added Shane and Emily as marriage candidates, which you, the community, voted on a poll that I put on Twitter. 1.2 just added new languages to the game. It wasn't really a content update. I hadn't yet established the tradition of 1.x updates always being major content updates. So then we had the 1.3 update, which most importantly added multiplayer to the game, fulfilling the promise I had made to the players before Stardew Valley even came out. 1.3 also added the winter night market and a few other things. One thing about 1.3 is the multiplayer was actually developed, not by me. It was put in by a guy named Tom Coxon, who went on to create a game called Cassette Beasts. You should check it out.
Oh,
Thanks,
that game. I
Tom.
heard of that one. That one's
But,
a cool one.
yeah, it started this new era where I was open to getting help on the actual development of Stardew Valley, which allowed for bigger, more ambitious updates. So then there was the 1.4 update, which added the movie theater, fish ponds, 14 art events to all the spouses, and many other great things to the game. Then we had the 1.5 update, which added a huge endgame location, Ginger Island, the Quee quests, and this idea of perfection, the volcano, which allowed you to enchant your weapons and tools, and many other great things. Then there was the 1.6 update, the most recent update. Kind of a return to the valley after 1.5's Ginger Island. 1.6 added some new systems, some endgame content. It kind of filled in some gaps that I feel like
Yeah, and there's like a lot more than farming.
and it
Same.
added some old ideas that I've had for a long time, like green
But hey,
rain.
that's cool. They got all this
So
stuff
those
here.
were all the major updates to Stardew Valley in a nutshell. Of course, there were some intermediary updates in between all of those major ones, which sometimes added some important things to the game, but those were the major updates. Now, what's next? Well, as I've already announced, there is a 1.7 update in the works, but I don't want to reveal too much about what's in the update yet. Although I did announce that there would be 2 new marriage candidates, and I'm going to reveal those soon. I know you guys are probably bored out of your minds by this, and you're just waiting for me to get to the unveiling of the marriage candidates, right? But I just have one more thing to say. I have in my hands an envelope with the names of the 2 new marriage candidates that will be added in 1.7.
Okay.
But before I
Where are
open
they?
that up and reveal the names to you, I just wanted to say thank you so much for supporting Stardew Valley over the past 10 years, for all the mods, the fan art, all the letters, and the comments you've made to me telling me how much Stardew Valley has meant to you. That's meant a lot to me too. And it's really given me a lot of purpose in life. So I'm grateful to you for making this a reality for me. Thank you so much. I also just want to thank everyone else who's been part of the Stardew Valley journey, from the other developers who have helped me out over the years, to the merchandise companies who have created all these cool Stardew Valley items, the people who have run the Stardew Valley concerts, Cole for helping me make the Stardew Valley board game.
Okay.
And so many
Even
other
even
cool
as a board
things that
game, that's
have come
crazy.
about over the past 10 years.
Did not
So
know that.
thank you so much to everyone. Now, let's get down to business. All right, here it is. 1.7 marriage candidates. There you go. Clint and Sandy. It's their
Okay.
turn. It's their time. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.
Alright, cool. Let's go into the next one then. I think we'll just do the Pokemon stuff and then end off. Because, like, I need to finish getting the video exported and everything. And get that uploaded. And then then I can get some sleep, whatever, and there's stuff here. So we got a new Pokemon game. Right, so it was Pokemon Day earlier, so they had their whole Pokemon Presents thing. I wasn't awake and everything when that was up. But looks like I was sent stuff here to react. I'm assuming this trailer for Winds and Waves, I'm gonna guess this is Gen 10 because it's 2 titles here in one thing. That's what they do always. And it's obviously probably gonna be in the Presents because I don't see why it wouldn't be. And then there's like other stuff too. Maybe we'll check the news and stuff on Cerebi on this stuff after, but hey, let's go give it a look then. I'll probably skip through parts that I don't really care for though. But they to go over their mobile titles because like it's whatever. Oh, it's this week. Game Boy? Oh, okay. We got red and blue there. Right. Wait, is this just all of their title screens? Okay. Wait. They oh yeah, okay, yeah. Wait. They even put the Legends titles in this one. So do they count as main series, I guess? Even though they don't have the same gameplay the Legends games? Maybe they do if they're including it there.
Hello everyone, I'm Ishihara from the Pokemon Company. Today, February 27, is Pokemon Day. This is the date the Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green games were first released in Japan, marking the beginning of the Pokemon series.
I think that's just I'm pretty sure that's just the Japanese stuff there. That's why.
In those first
Don't worry
two
about
titles,
it. Not really, no.
151 Pokemon made their appearance. Now, a total of 1,025 Pokemon have been discovered.
Yeah, there's over 1,025
and these
now.
diverse Pokemon have been part of the stories trainers worldwide have been able to experience.
Okay.
This year marks the Pokemon series' 30th,
30th anniversary,
a
okay.
milestone reached because of your support. Thank you, each and every one of you. We hope you will all enjoy seeing how Pokemon continues to evolve. In today's broadcast, we'll share all the latest news about Pokemon. Please enjoy the presentation.
Okay. So they gotta have something special here, right? Alright, we got the Game Boy, Pokemon Red. Are they red and blue? They put it in. Is that the. Okay. 45 songs, 45 cartridges? Wait, what? Game music collection? What the hell is that?
I'm Junichi Masuda, and I handled the music and sound effects for the Pokemon Red version and Pokemon Blue version video games. You can now play all 45 songs from the games on the small player inspired by the Game Boy system. We took particular care to make the audio sound just like Game Boy, so I hope you enjoy listening while swapping out cartridges.
Okay, that's weird. Oh, and then they're gonna like sell it like this. Wait, why are there two different versions then? Wait, why? Is it just different cartridge colors? Or what? What the fuck is Pikachu thinking making an iPod in 2026? I'm pretty sure it's a lot more of a downgrade over an iPod, man.
Hello, Pokemon.
It's more of a
fans, and
novelty
happy
toy.
Pokemon Day. I'm Chris Brown from the Pokemon Company International, and I'm thrilled to share news about the 2026 Pokemon World Championships, which will be taking place alongside our new
Pokemon World
fan
Champions?
experience, Pokemon XP in San Francisco. The 2026 Pokemon World Championships will once again welcome nearly 3,000 competitors from all over the world. Competitors in the video game championships will battle for the first time in Pokemon Champions.
Okay,
while
yeah.
Fellow competitors will battle in the Pokemon trading card game, Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Unite. Each of the final matches of these games will be held at the Chase Center, an arena that's 3 times the size as last year's finals.
Damn.
Years ago, we started on a mission.
Yeah, their
to create
stuff
the
is
most
just getting
exciting
crazier and
Pokemon
crazier
event
every year.
for our competitors and their families. As the World Championships evolved, we saw an opportunity to expand even further and deliver a one-of-a-kind experience where trainers around the world can come together in celebrating their fandom. As we celebrate 30 years of Pokemon, we invite all of you to the inaugural Pokemon XP event. Fans of all ages can expect fun activities, including interactive exhibits, pin trading, cosplay showcases, unique panels, hands-on workshops,
Okay.
exciting partner collaborations, and of course,
Damn.
visiting the Pokemon
Look
Center
at the
pop-up
freaking
store.
ride on
To celebrate
motorcycle.
this new experience, today we're giving you a first look at a truly special piece of art illustrating Pokemon XP alongside the highly anticipated World
That wouldn't
Championships.
reptile, don't worry.
Whether you're joining us in person in San Francisco or from home on our live stream, we can't wait to see you this August. Thank you, Pokemon trainers.
Like, trading card stuff? Okay. Alright, got Oopsie. Darkfire, okay. Cresselia. Wait, okay, Genesect, Solgaleo. Zekrom, Pikachu, Zacian, Raikou, Mama God. The future, wait. Oh wait. Is this for like the mobile game or something? Okay. Celebrating thing? Okay, cool. 10th anniversary of Pokemon Go. Wait, it's been 10 years already? Damn. They give you a new scam pack? Okay. I mean, I'm not interested in the trading card stuff, but for those that are, good for them.
A huge range of Pokemon that have appeared in Pokemon Go so far will return.
Oh?
And there's a 2-day Pokemon Go tour event starting tomorrow.
Oh, that's nice.
We also have a promo code to share.
There you go. More stuff for Pokemon Go. For those that play it. Okay, right.
Here.
Wait, what? Wait, what did it say here? Wait. So I got... Oh, here. Pokemon Red version, Blue version will appear in Pokemon Masters EX. It is look from back then. You know, I always thought the title for Pokemon Masters EX was kind of weird. I mean, come on. Just... If you move the S a little bit close to the EX, it now becomes Pokemon Masters X instead. I'm pretty sure someone somewhere has at one point misread it when someone like typed it out in something as Pokemon Master Sex, right? Surely.
Here.
Or is it just me? Okay.
Let your curiosity shine.
Victorian Orchidon. Juliana Terrapagos, okay. Double anniversary, cool, good for them.
Pokemon Masters EX.
I mean, at least it went by quickly. Like, is this the other mobile game? Do people even play this? I don't think I've ever seen anyone talk about this game, ever. I don't know, the dude doesn't talk. Red doesn't talk. I don't think he does. I just remember him just standing atop Mount Silver. I just being like, dot, 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 and then you fight him. Alright, Pokemon sleep. Time to go to bed, guys. You gotta sleep with the pocketed monstrosities over here. Yeah, he don't talk. He doesn't talk. Alright, got Mew. So I'm gonna guess you can get Mew now in Pokemon Sleep. Oh yeah, Mew. Alright, you can get Mew now. Sure.
To celebrate Pokemon Day,
Alright,
Zapdos,
Pokemon.
Moltres, and Articuno will be joining the fray.
Okay.
The magnificent power of the 3 legendary bird Pokemon comes together. soar stylishly into battle. You can participate in the event to unlock their Unite licenses. And even more Pokemon are scheduled to be added. Don't miss what's coming.
Are like Megas in Unite or something? I wonder. I never really played Unite though. I wonder if they have like Megas in there. Is this Training Game Pocket now, or? I never played the expansion pass for Sword and Shield. I never played it. Yeah, it's just a new theme booster pack. Oh yeah, this is for thing. Okay. I don't remember them being in Scarlet and Violet. I mean, Scarlet and Violet was kind of a joke. I remember when I played it on stream in the DLC. As a joke, I'm like, okay, can I beat the game without using a single attacking move? And guess what? I did. I had to do some big brain shit to make it a lot more interesting, but I was able to beat all of it without using a single attacking move, and I don't count the Miraidon versus Miraidon or the Koraidon versus Koraidon fight in there, because that fight at the in Area 0 is entirely scripted. No matter what you do, it will always play out the same way. It will do it for you. Even if all you do is just dump potions on your thing for like a couple turns, eventually it will just automatically terrestrialize and use Terra Blast. It is entirely scripted. But yeah, that's its own other thing there. You tried using game controller recently, your brain couldn't figure this shit out. What do you mean? It's just your regular controller, it's just the other stick here, the C stick is just weird. It's just weird. Anyway, is this the XC Gale Darkness then? Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm assuming then this will get Pokemon Home compatibility too? Maybe? Yeah, it's the camera, yeah. Alright, so we got XD. Okay. More race-colored Pokemon, yeah. True. Wait, you don't know about Shadow Lugia? Damn. Don't worry about it. It's the fake Shadow type. It's exclusive to the GameCube games for Pokemon. You could get Shadow Pokemon, and it was like another type. And like, it was like super effective to everything if I remember correctly. It's been a long time. But one of the things they're infamous for, I don't know if you've heard it before, but here be. Not that one. What's the other one? I think it's this one. This. The mirror beam music. Oh, not a chance. Yeah, they were great. They were also not made by Game Freak. They were also not made by Game Freak. Wait, are they gonna have like the bonus disc stuff as well for the event Pokemon in there, or how's that gonna work? But yeah, coming to Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Classics, March 2026. Cool.
Hello everyone, I'm Utsunomiya from the Pokemon Company. I'd like to give you all some additional updates as we share the latest news on our games.
Okay.
First off, we have information regarding the Pokemon Fire Red version and Pokemon Leaf Green version games coming to Nintendo Switch. The Pokemon Fire Red and Pokemon Leaf Green
unfortunately, no Black
remakes
Ho-Oh.
of the Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green games in Japan were released on Game Boy Advance in 2004. Today, these games have been made available to play once more as download exclusive titles on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah, okay.
We also plan to make these titles compatible with Pokemon Home in the future.
So you can dump them into Pokemon Home and then transfer them to Pokemon Champions. But you cannot take them out of Home into Fire Red Leaf Green. Nah, they gotta make like Pokemon Box Ruby and Sapphire or whatever and let you connect Fire Red Leaf Green to that, and then let you connect that thing to Pokemon Home, and then release Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Surely. Yeah, Black Ho-Oh, please. That'd be cool, actually. Right, because there's a golden one if you get the shiny, but...
This way, you can bring Pokemon obtained in other Pokemon...
But they need to make it so you can get Shadow Lugia as a thing you can use in a regular Pokemon game. I'd like to see that. Even if it doesn't keep its Shadow typing, because they're exclusive to the GameCube games. Imagine Shadow Lugia and Champions, that'd be cool.
Pokemon RPG series titles on adventures with you, or you can send Pokemon to visit Pokemon Champions. We hope you look forward to it.
Okay.
Next, we have some news about Pokemon Champions.
Okay, Champions news. Alright, finally, this one's pretty big, right? Okay, what was this trailer? Okay. They just pull up. She pulls out her phone, the dude pulls out a Switch. Okay. But it's cool though, at least then you can play competitive Pokemon, the official stuff. You're no longer stuck using the Switch or Switch 2 or whatever. Is it gonna like have a mobile version? That'd be nice. You can play her on that. Okay, then they're playing on the bus. And they got Megas there. Oh, they're all playing. Okay. Yeah. We got Mega Raichu X. Is that Volt Tackle? That's a cool Volt Tackle animation. Okay, so Switch version is in April. Mobile version later this year. So no mobile version yet, but later in the year.
We the chair.
Okay.
Next up is news about the Mega Dimension DLC for the Pokemon Legends ZA
I thought that was already like done.
game, the newest title in the Pokemon series.
But honestly, ZA kind of sucked. I didn't bother to play the DLC though. I had enough after I beat the base game. Maybe it is never done. Is this just for like their online fight battle or whatever? Dude, you've seen all these megas already? Okay. Yeah, I think that's the DLC thing, right? Yeah. I don't know. The Legends area is just a bunch of weirdos making the game, yeah. It's rough. But this was funny. Wait, let me go back. Wait, which one's that Mega? Look at this. Look at this freaking Mega. You guys want 3 pieces of sushi right here? This one got like the freaking salmon roe or whatever on top. Or the fish eggs on top, like. Looks like the salmon roe on top of that one. Do you want to eat that one? Look, wait.
Is news about
Wait. So like we got the chandelier over here that you can have hanging on your thing in your dining room table. And then like wait, where is it? Wait, did we? And then you can eat this as your meal. You got you got the lighting for the dining table, and then you got your meal right here. Goodbye. You want to eat your sushi? What psychopath saw 3 shrimp in the wild and be like, I said, bro, I gotta catch them. I don't know, man. Psycho looks like a baby. See? Okay. I thought he looked like he was like some weird blunt thingy. Alright. Wait, Mega Dimension. Yeah, this is like their online ranked combat thingy. I think it's Lucario Z. Yeah, they really want to milk it hard. Yeah, it's so hard. Even like they gave us a new Garchomp. Look at that, new Garchomp. Mega Garchomp Z. Okay. And that's the other one. Other Garchomp. Alright, Pale DLC, okay. Sure. Yeah, if 3 shrimp as a Pokemon, and Digimon has a cat that evolves into a big-titted angel. Angel girl. Yeah, you choose the right organization to back. Yeah, I thought this was already out, though.
a new Mega Evolution of Garchomp, Mega Garchomp Z, has been discovered.
Okay.
This mystery gift will become available for the Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimension DLC after this presentation concludes.
Oh, it's
after
just a mystery
claiming this
gift?
gift,
Okay.
you'll be able to detect a special hyperspace distortion where you can encounter Mega Garchomp Z. You can obtain a Garchompite Z stone by winning a battle against Mega Garchomp Z in the special pocket of hyperspace. Next up, we have some news about Pokemon Pokopia.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is just the weird Ditto farming game. That one that's on a game key card. Oh, what was that? Okay, so we got some sort of stereo music player. Let me guess, this is a Rotom form or something. Okay, Game Boy music? Yeah, I fucking knew it. It's a Rotom form. Are we ever gonna get like another playable, like usable Rotom form that we can use in battles? Like, you know, we know that the freaking drone, the cell phone, and the Pokedex Rotom exists, but you can't use them. And now we have a freaking stereo Rotom too, but can't we use them? I mean, like, you could come up with some interesting typings for some of them. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, there's also the Rotom Bike in Sword and Shield, right? They could easily have just made, like, the Rotom Bike from Sword and Shield. That could have easily been, like, a fighting type or something, probably. they could have easily made the drone one like a bug type, right? Because like a buzzing around, because like a drone or whatever. This could be like what, like normal type, so it can just spam boom burst, or something like give it a boom burst. Like it'd be perfectly fitting for like Rotom. Just make a normal type. Yeah, they gotta give us a Rotom of every type. You know, where's my fairy type Rotom that's just a Hitachi magic wand? That'd be funny. That would be funny, right? It's like the perfect fairy type Rotom, right? Because like they're all like some sort of like, all the Rotom forms are some sort of appliance that you would find in some household, maybe. And they all have motors in them, right? Because Rotom is just a motor backwards. So like, I think the perfect thing that fits the fairy type is like what? The fairy type, something girly, whatever, has a motor. It can be cute or small or whatever. What's that? Yeah, the Hitachi magic wand. Perfect. Right? That's like the perfect for a fairy type Rotom with a magic wand.
Curious looking stereo of Rotom? Did it get enticed by the music and hop inside?
Okay,
it's
DJ
really energetic
Rotom.
and seems to go by DJ Rotom. What happens if you give it a CD in the game?
Okay, I'll just play very different music.
It can help liven up the town with a variety of music. Ditto and the others are grooving to the beat too. Let's listen to DJ Rotom's specially selected tracks while
Only
I
5
introduce
slots,
you to
I
the
guess
world
so.
of Pokemon Pokopia. Ditto first encounters Professor Tangrowth in a wasteland that was once a town.
Yeah, it's not the greatest interface.
It seems like Ditto is working alongside other Pokemon to develop the town. Wow, they're sure fired up. Of course, you can't give your all on an empty stomach. It looks like Riolu wants something to eat too. But how do you cook?
Get a fire type? Okay. Is this like... What is this?
That's Silhouette.
This is Skovat? Or Greedon? I think it's Greedon, right? I got the name mixed up. Yeah, it's Greedon. Okay, Greedon is cooking.
A Greedent appeared. It sounds like everyone calls it Chef Dente.
Okay, why Greedon?
Chef Dente can teach you how to cook all sorts of dishes. Each Pokemon has different foods they prefer.
Okay.
Some dishes will even power up your moves when you eat them. This will make it even easier to develop the town.
Chef Denton, yes.
Try bringing Pokemon
Chef
you
is
befriended
dented.
on an outing.
Chef Denton.
In multiplayer mode, you can visit other players' towns. You can play with up to 3 other people.
Okay.
First, let's play some
So they got
hide and
4
seek.
player?
I wonder where everyone's hiding.
Yes, she
There
vomited
you
the
are.
flowers.
There's someone here, too. But where's the last one?
This is what, prop hunt or something? The thing moved.
You can transform into objects, too.
Okay, so you can play prop hunt.
That was a fun game of hide and seek. By working together, you could even build something this big.
A big ditto.
Together, you can develop a town. Or go on far-off adventures.
Okay. They got these
New
dungeons.
encounters may await you as well.
There's a Raikou there.
Every day, the world gets
Alright,
bigger
the Graveler
and
rolling around.
bigger. Developing a town, one step at a time. Pokemon Pokopia.
Pokemon devs on doing
Available
Kill
on
Stardew
March 5th.
Valley. Doesn't Pal World have their own as one as well? Pal Farm? Right? Wait, where is it? I remember there was like, what, Pal Farm too? There was already farming in Pal World, but like, they're like making their own like actual like farming game in Pal World and everything, like out of the Pal World pals. I mean, obviously it's gonna look night and day different because this is Unreal Engine game. The Black Marketeer always got that face. It's not really Minecraft with Pokemon, but it is a survival crafting game, Pal World. But yeah, like this thing was announced like last year, a long while back. I need to get back into Pal World one of these days. There's a lot of stuff I haven't looked into yet. It's been a long while since I last played. But yeah. There's a Dinarog, okay. Yeah, Koei Tecmo made that game. I mean, it's probably gonna be decent considering Koei Tecmo is making this one. Considering it's not Game Freak and Nintendo doing it, but some other company. And if you've seen some of the stuff out of Koei Tecmo, yeah. It's probably decent, but yeah, that's its own thing there.
Pokemon Pokopia releases next week on Thursday,
Oh, it's next
March
week.
5th.
Okay.
We hope you enjoy working with Pokemon to develop a town from the ground up. Today, we covered all of the information you see here.
Yep. That's a lot of stuff.
We'd like to end our presentation today with one final video for you all.
Alright, it's the Wind and Waves thing, right?
Thank you for tuning in.
I'm assuming this is Gen 10. Right, I'm assuming this is Gen 10. I mean, yeah, it's not surprising. Unreal Engine looked way better. Who would have thought? Alright. So we got a sketchbook here. Nice artwork. I mean, like, yeah, the artwork is really nice. In gameplay too, I mean, that's not really that surprising, but... Okay, so they're just, this is like artwork from like every game, right? Okay. Is that just another Pikachu or something there? So what, they bring in cosplay Pikachu back or something and we get 2 more cosplay ones? Right, I remember, was it like, was it Gen 6 or Gen 7, whatever, they had like the cosplay Pikachus? And like, they would have like a special move that was like exclusive to each cosplay form? So are we getting like 2 more cosplay Pikachus on? I don't know why anyone would use them though, outside of aesthetics though, cause like, it's still a Pikachu at the end of the day. I haven't played Resident Evil, but I've played all sorts of, like, just, yeah, full-on story games. Just not that many on stream in recent times. Yeah, Gen 6. It's been a long time. Right, Gen 6 was, like, more than 10 years ago now. So is this, like, more cosplay Pikachu? They just bringing it back? Okay. I'm gonna assume then they're gonna make each of the cosplay Pikachu's version exclusive. I mean, that's probably what it is. I'm pretty sure this is the Wind and Waves thing because it's the last thing in the presents. I'm assuming. Yeah, here we go, new game. Okay. So there's like a bunch of forests and then there's like the oceans and stuff there? Okay. What's next? We're gonna get like another. We're gonna get the sequel to IGN 7 out of 10. Too much water. Trust. They're gonna be like 7 out of 10. Too much water again. If you know, you know. I can see it already. I'm pretty sure I know the names of like almost all the Pokemon in there. Here, let's see. Let's see if I remember them. Right, that was Gloom. That's a Tropius. Yeah, Wailord and Wailmer right there. Right, so we got Talos here. I don't see Swallow. Wait, what was that thing bouncing around? I don't think I got a good enough view. Wait, why did it switch to 480p? Wait, what is that? Is that the Gen 9 bug? Nimble? I think it's Nimble or something. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I think it's called Nimble. I have no idea. We got Tangela here and Oddish. We got Ladyball and Ladian. It's just so funny. It has like the ability Iron Fist, but it has like garbage attacking stats, so it's just so silly and dumb. Alright, we got Slugma. And is this Slizapede or something? I think it's called that, and it evolves into like the Centiskorch thing. Alright, that's like Gen 8 Pokemon, right? Alright, so you can just throw the ball to catch them, okay. Alright, we got Wingull, Krabby, Sandy Gas, I think. We got Corsola, is it Marini or something? I think that's that one. Yeah, I think that's Timple as Carnivine. Alright, Duskull's over there. I guess these are the starters. So we got another water lizard. We got a doggo for the fire type, and then we got this bird thing for the grass type. Got it. Brouth. Okay. Tombon. And Gekwa. I think the doggo is nice, but I don't know about the other two. I got, what is that, Luminion? Frillish, Kingler there, Tynamo, and more Wailord there. Any legendary here? You're gonna show us legend? Alright, Pokemon wins. Pokemon waves, so are we gonna see the legendaries or? Guess not. And this is for Switch 2 and it's next year. Yeah, IGN, too much water. I said that earlier. IGN's gonna be like that, yeah. Winds and waves. No legends, yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate. I have no idea. Who knows? Right, who knows if they will. They got competition, man. Right, there's Powell already. You got, was it the Azure Premilia thing? That thing, I'm pretty sure they're having like a beta test in China soon or something. Alright, they got this one. There's Nemo, I think it was, what was it called? Yeah, a Nemo as well. We got this thing as well. And apparently a bunch of people enjoyed that one as well. I heard it was good. I didn't get a chance to try the recent beta ever. But there's like a bunch of cool stuff with that one too. Right? They're not the the only ones there. Right? And I'm pretty sure in terms of scope and scale, all those other games are gonna have a lot more stuff going on. Yeah, Plastic World, yeah, probably. I'm pretty sure that thumbnail is AI generated though. That looks like an AI generated thumbnail. But yeah. Alright, what's here? Sarah B here, reveal, Blaziken raid event, okay. Winds and Waves, Pokemon Champions. Wait, why was I sent a link to Sarah B again? Wait, no, Sarah B update. Alright, here, let's see. Where's the games tab? Here, Pokemon Champions. Nintendo Switch, iOS, Android, allows to do battles, connect through Pokemon Home. Yeah. And then the sidebar here. Available Pokemon. We got Hydrapple. Oh yeah, here's the full list that we know is in there. Of course, the Kanto starters, the Pikachu line, Gengar is there, Kangaskhan. We got Starmie, Pinsir, Magikarp. Why don't they have Gyarados here? Obviously, if we have Magikarp, we should have Gyarados. Dragonite's here for Alligator, sure. Scizor, Heracross, Tyranitar, Gardevoir, Milotic, Metagross, Empoleon there. I mean, obviously, if one of them's there, the rest of them are probably going to be there. Garchomp, Lucario, Leafeon. Pretty sure all the evolutions are going to be in there because it's Eevee. The evolutions. Superior Samurai. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have the pig in there. The pig got a mega. Right. Whimsicott. Emolga. Hydreigon. Alright, the Kalos starters. Talonflame. Aegislash. Sylveon. Hawlucha. Incineroar, of course. Incineroar is here. Right. Of course. Right. Oh yeah, Serena, Oranguru, Kamo, Hatterene, Dragapult, yeah, Ursaluna, Bestialegion, Sneasler, Mousehold, Tingaton, okay, the Palafin, Dondozo, the Sushi is there, King Gambit, Sinistcha, Archaludon, and Hydrapple, of course. Okay, those are what we know are confirmed. Let's see, training mechanics. So, like, I guess you can just, like, pick and put your moves in there and adjust your stats. Cool. I heard that there's, like, probably no more IVs, and it's just, you can change your moves, nature, and ability and stats. Okay. Online gifts. So, on release, they're gonna give Dragonite, I guess. Sure, so everyone just gets the Dragonite immediately. Cool. Deposit bonuses. So Chestnut, Delphox, Greninja, and Floette, if you deposit them, you get their Mega Stone. Okay. I don't know, man. They took Pokemon Sun and Moon region and were building Zikala new games. I guess you could say that for Winds and Waves. Do we have info on that one here? Any more info? Right, I only really pay attention to like the mainline games. The other stuff is just kinda whatever. Right, we already saw the trailer. New Pokemon. Yeah, I got Brout, Pom Bomb, and Gekquad. That's the only new Pokemon they show. Then available Pokemon. Yeah, I pretty much said all of these. Wait, that was a Vileplume? I mean, yeah, obviously Vileplume would probably show up because we already saw Gloom. Right, Kingler means crabby, Tangela, so obviously Tangrowth is probably there. Lady Balladium, yeah, Pichu. Of course we'll have Pichu because Pikachu's line is there. Blossom, yeah, because Gloom is there. Yeah, Slugma, Macargo, Corsola, the Tailo Swallow, yeah, Wilgo, Pelipper. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm pretty sure I didn't get anything wrong. Yeah, that's Timple. Yeah, Dynamo, Electric, Electros. Yeah, Marini, and then that's Toxapex, yeah. Oh, wait, yeah, it was Sandy Guest, okay. Or was it Palosan that was shown? I don't even remember. Yeah, Sizzlipede. Yeah, Nimble, and then... What is this image? It just says image. What is this? Okay, I don't know. Is that it? Let me check the website for the other things. Do they have anything else on their website? Time to remove all your knowledge to get new mechanic. I don't know. Alright. So battle your way. Okay. You can battle to top in Pokemon champions. More battle details. Gameplay. Space tailor made for fiery battlers. Okay, cool. You'll have ranked, casual, and private battles. Pair up with victory points. Yup. Master Mega Evolution and ranked battles. Omni Ring battle is essential. Pokemon Champions will be the VGC software used for 2026. So then now the official competitive circuit will be on this one. Okay. And they'll have different, like, rule sets that change, I guess. Is there, like, any other information here? Of course, you can just transfer from Pokemon Home. You befriended thus far Pokemon Legends ZA, Go, and other titles in the Pokemon series. Cool. You have trial recruitment. And then I guess after you do the trial, you can just get them permanently. Once you find a Pokemon that's a good match for you, can add it to your team permanently. And need to use victory points. Okay. You can also recruit Pokemon by using tickets instead of victory points, such as quick coupons, teammate tickets. Alright, so they'll have stuff like that. Train your Pokemon. How's their, like, monetization and stuff gonna work then? But yeah, it looks like that one is probably only for Switch 2, but this one will be on the Switch 1, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be Switch 1, Switch 2, and on mobile. For Pokemon Champions. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, okay, let's look at, let's see Wind and Waves then. Do they not have a website for it yet? Do they not have a website? Oh, here. Windwaves.pokemon.com. Okay. Yeah, we already saw the trailer. We got some screenshots again. These are from the trailer. Right, they just showed us a bunch of Pokemon. And this tower thing. So first, look at the main characters. When playing Pokemon Winds, you get this outfit. And Pokemon Waves, you get that one. Okay. I guess we get some sort of, like, skateboard or hoverboard or something, or surfboard, maybe? I think I like I think I like the one, though, they offer for Pokemon Waves more than Winds. You, the player, will become the main character in this adventure where you dive into Pokemon Winds and Waves. The outfit your character dons will differ between versions. Just what kind of story could be awaiting you. Okay. Yeah, so different version gets different outfit. Features an open world to explore, with beautiful windswept islands and a vast ocean with glittering waves ebb and flow. The Pokemon that live in harmony in this region's lush environment have developed their own unique ecosystems. By visiting these islands, you're sure to open the door to a brand new adventure that can only be found here. Alright then. So they got that stuff there. I guess there's like nothing else here. And this looks like it's just Switch 2 only. Yeah, I don't know if I'll play it or not. Unless someone wants to fund me a Switch 2, because I don't really want to buy one. Especially with like how little use I'll get out of it. Alright, even with my Switch 1, I have 2 of them. One has custom firmware, the other one doesn't. I haven't really used them at all in the past couple of years. Usually if I want to play something portably, I'll just grab my Steam Deck. So like my Switches are just collecting dust and everything. You think a ball cap fits better for the windy setting instead of the cowboy hat? Honestly, I guess, yeah. Yeah, probably. I think for Pokemon Waves, you give them a swim cap. Is that what you want them? The ball cap then for wins, and then you give them a freaking swim cap instead. You put them in swimsuits and give them a swim cap, and then they can be the swimmer trainer class. They're perfectly fitting for Pokemon Waves, right? They're just swimming. Great idea. Either way, I can see it now. IGN's gonna be like 7 out of 10 too much water or something. Right, I can imagine it already. Let me see if I can like find a... Like 7.8 out of 10, too much water. Do we have like a picture of it? No, wait, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Pokemon Alpha suffered everything too much water. The classic. Right, it's just too much water. Do we have it in higher resolution? Right, too much water right here. Pokemon Alpha Cypher introduces needed updates and a gorgeous new view of Hoenn, but a clearer view reveals its dated holdovers. Right? Gorgeous details, post-game content, some smart updates, but too much water. Too many HMs. Right, never forget, too much water. Right, I can see it already. Right, too much water. Don't worry, too much water. I see too much water already. Look at all the water. Pokemon Waves is right. You're waving through that water. But I give them a swim cap in Waves, and then give them the baseball cap for wins. Put them all in swimsuits and Waves. It's perfect. They're not dressed appropriately. Right? We need the freaking swimsuits. We'll see. Right, well, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's coming eventually. Alright, I'll probably just re-upload that whole React segment as a video at some point later. But yeah, we got through that. Right, it's definitely something. That's for sure. That said though, I don't think there's like really much more I want to do right now for Reacts. Other than I'll just save for next time, I think. But yeah, we got that marked out. We can mark out this. Maybe we can do like one more video if it's short enough. Yeah, how long is this one?
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Muda Hall.
I think we'll just save it. Is there like anything like super short? What is this one? Pawn. Official reveal trailer. New Batman horror game. What? I already did them a while ago.
Не знаю. Кажется, мы в зазеркалье с тобой.
Okay.
Да, заброшка тут.
Wait, why is it defaulting to the, give me 4K? The hell, YouTube?
Сваливаем отсюда. Ой-ой-ой, стой, стой, стой!
Okay. I have no idea what they're saying.
Тихо, тихо.
Alright, they're hiding here. So they're gonna give us a jump scare or something? Come on. Oh yeah, look, there's a dude there. Is he gonna like teleport or go behind you or something?
Yeah.
Watch him do that. Oh, wait, what's there? Oh, just some guy tied up.
Спасибо, бро, что спас меня.
Okay.
3 часа ждал тебя. Где сумка моя? Да чё-то не
The bag's
видно.
gone. Okay.
Ладно, валим отсюда. Куда идти вообще нам? Ну я не знаю, бро, я ничего не
There's
вижу
gonna be
вообще.
something that pops up.
Я
Watch.
слепой. Что?
Yeah, I already heard the anthem or whatever. Alright, they're running. Oh look, the elevator just came in conveniently. And he's dead. What's next? The elevator gets hit?
Братишка, будь аккуратнее. Не издавай звуков.
And he's dead.
Он и должен быть всегда легче остальных. А сейчас это какой-то он более усложненный. Обычно его очень быстро проходит. Все, погнали. Погнали.
Okay. They're looking for something? Oh look, there's a thing there.
Чувствую. Суба!
It's like right there. So how is that supposed to be horror? Okay. Batman Isolation, sure. Alien Isolation meets a Batman from Tebow. Bleach Man Isolation. Okay. Yeah. Batman Arkham Predator mode, but we are the criminals. Horrifying looking Batman, okay. There we go. Alright, is this one a short one or is this one?
Oh, yippee!
Alright, that's a longer one. Some of those will save for next time. I think this one's probably gonna be a short one. Yeah, okay, we'll look at this one. And then we head out. The Valve gambling lawsuit, the fuck?
Boy, we got another huge lawsuit against Valve that just popped up today.
Okay.
Recently, Valve's been catching lawsuits like Pokemon, and they are fresh off a W against the Rothschilds. Only a week ago, they squeaked out this huge W against the Rothschilds. I can't emphasize enough just how impressive that is to beat them. That's like beating Umbrella Corp. Like, that was an incredible win for Valve there. And now they immediately go into round 2 here with a lawsuit from the New York Attorney General Letitia James, basically claiming that Valve knowingly promotes illegal gambling with their loot boxes in games like CS2.
Okay, but is it just Valve or, like, what about all these other companies? Is it just Valve or what? If it's just a Valve, that's kind of BS because, like, they're not the only ones doing it, and there's honestly a lot of stuff that's far, far worse. And you have, like, alternatives to everything anyways with the stuff as well, with Valve stuff as well.
Dota 2 and TF2 that is
items.
accessible and even
Right, because, like, didn't like a bunch of people go crazy, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of people also endgame themselves or over like a recent update to like to CS2 or whatever, because like a Valve basically killed the vast bulk of their economy for like the skin trading and stuff. I remember hearing something about that a while back. I don't really know the details on that, but like I thought like Valve was like doing stuff to like de-escalate and everything or on that front.
targeted at minors. Now, this is far from the first time this has been a big subject. In fact, many of you might remember in 2018, Belgium actually had a loot box ban. This was during the incredible EA era where they put their own dick in their ass as much as possible with the, you know, sense of pride and accomplishment and surprise mechanics spin they tried to put on like, loot
surprise
boxes and
mechanics.
shit. And Belgium eventually ruled that it was predatory, it was a game of chance that would lead to profit or loss, and thus they banned it in Belgium. And fast forward to today, you can't open CS cases in Belgium, it seems. Now, at the time, this was a pretty big deal, and the US and the UK also tried to make arguments that, yeah, this does constitute gambling, but as they went through the process, they then declared that it's not really gambling because you're getting an actual in-game item, you're not getting money. But now, to today, they are now saying that because it has grown so much, this ecosystem through these loot boxes where some items are selling for thousands of dollars, or even the famous AK that sold for $1 million not that long ago.
Damn, $1 million.
And then there's also like, these
crazy.
third-party sites that are using CS cases and CS items to instantly turn it into money, where it is just full-blown gambling casinos based around CS items.
But that's a
So they are
third-party
saying
site,
that,
not
you know, Valve
Steam.
can no longer use the excuse of, no, it's just in-game cosmetic items. They are now saying that it isn't just a cosmetic in-game item, it carries very real monetary value that leads to people getting addicted to gambling and trying to win them, fundamentally. Now, it seems like Valve might have seen the writing on the wall at some point because they have been making changes to the way this functions in CS.
Yeah,
so like
I heard
they have
about
done
that.
like, you know, Genesis Terminal stuff like that to try and change things around a little bit to avoid falling into hot water, but the hot water has come. And Valve is far from the only gaming company that has mechanics like this. It's a very standard industry norm now when it comes to like loot boxes and cosmetics that carry real world value.
It's unfortunate that it's a norm.
Especially in mobile games, for example.
Oh,
and
yeah,
other companies
Gacha's
have
the
been hit in the
worst.
past by lawsuits alleging illegal gambling practices in their games. Valve is just the latest target, and they are by far the biggest one. And in the lawsuit, there is some really sketchy stuff. Like, there is a whole section about games causing violence. For some reason, they decided to just fucking toss that little sour nugget in there for no fucking reason. The most dunked upon, the most spit upon, the most debunked nonsense talking point ever. They decided to slide into this lawsuit against Valve on illegal gambling practices. And also, they have very misleading stuff in there, like this section here, where they're saying that they have these near-miss mechanics where they'll show you the gold item, and then you'll stop one slot right before it. You'll get the worthless item right next to it while seeing the gold to keep you hooked, like, oh, I was that close, I'll get back into the Crucible now. Except, that doesn't happen in CS anymore.
Yeah.
That hasn't been the case since, like, what, fucking 8 years ago or something? They changed that a long time ago. If you see a gold, you're getting a gold. If it was a red item there, then that would be real, but that screenshot they show there is just fraudulent. And also, apparently, it's taken from an Oni Pixel stream where he even got the gold item there.
You can actually see a Twitch chat with an emote from Oni Pixel. And when they tracked down the exact stream the screenshot is from, he actually wins the knife in the clip. So just blatant misinfo.
Like you and they.
That's a certified objection moment right there. That is just blatantly wrong. On purpose. That is very, very deceptive there. So, anyway,
hi there.
There is some funkiness in this lawsuit.
I don't know how to pronounce your name, but welcome.
Anyway, we're going to get more into the nitty-gritty here in a
the
moment
Valve
that I was
lawsuit's
going
crazy.
through on stream. But I do believe most people agree that CS skins and the skin economy, the cases, and all of the shit that's spawned as a result of it, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry here from the cosmetics.
Yeah.
I think most people agree it does very much revolve around gambling. That is a real thing. And that means it'll be a really interesting lawsuit to see how it all shakes out, because I think it will be difficult for Valve to once again say, like, no.
But, like, why only Valve? right? What about, like, literally every fucking gacha game out there? What about EA with their freaking things in, like, or not just EA, like, but, like, all these sport games where you can, you know, get they have, like, the gacha stuff for those, the player cards or whatever they're called, right? Trading cards as well, like your Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and whatever. Magic the Gathering cards, that stuff also should fall under that too. Like, what about that shit? Why is it just Valve? Like, I think it's kind of sus when they're just, like, targeting Valve, especially after they were just already targeted for something else, and they just got through that lawsuit, and then there's, like, that other one in the UK for Valve. It's just like, why only Valve for this one? Because it's a lot further spread throughout the industry. And Valve isn't the only one, and they're not the worst, I'd say, at some of the stuff in there.
These are just in-game items. There's no, like, real money there at all, because it's a huge, huge, huge industry now. And this is a very big deal lawsuit that would have wide-reaching effects across many different games, because, again, it's not like Valve is the only one that has things like this. Even League of Legends has Hextech cases or crates and Hextech keys. So this is a very big lawsuit. I do find it interesting that they've gone after Valve here for their first big fish, especially in an era where things like fucking Polymarket and Kalshi are...
Oh, that's true. What? Yeah, that stuff exists too. Who knows, maybe.
Extremely accessible to literally everyone and are, by all possible definitions, just gambling, despite how they try and spruce it up by calling it, well, prediction market, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I am somewhat surprised that they wouldn't start going after them when that is becoming very, very normalized to the point where even fucking...
Actually, no, it's stuff like that, right? Like, what's Polymarket again? No, I'm pretty sure this shit is way worse. Especially because, at least with the CSGO, the CS2 stuff, at least you have to go in and, like, play a game and stuff like that and deal with that. And this is just, like, I can just pull it up and do it within my web browser. I can pull it up on my phone and deal with this shit on my phone. This is far worse on that scale then. And, it's a lot more accessible.
CNN has a Kalshi partnership. Instead, they would rather go hog wild and laser focus on Valve of all things. That is an interesting decision, if you ask me. You heard Valve is being sued by the New York Attorney General for promoting illegal gambling through
Bill Gates admits affairs to Epstein. Okay, what the hell is this? This is the clip from my stream.
loot boxes. I did. In the lawsuit, they say video games cause violence and Valve is responsible.
Bruh. What does that have to do with that, though?
They say that? New York sues Valve alleging its loot boxes are quintessential gambling. Letitia James seeks to stop Valve from promoting gambling features in games like CS2. Since when does Verge not let you read articles without paying? Okay, last time I go on Verge. Citing the alleged promotion of gambling towards minors, Letitia James is suing Valve. Lawsuit claims this is in direct contradiction to the state's regulations on the matter, and the end goal, should the court rule in James' favor, is to put an end to these practices and require fees to be paid in reparation. Landmark lawsuit, should it prove successful, would be another tidal wave in a long-running gaming practice that has faced significant setbacks over the many years since loot boxes first became a popular money-making tool among US-based publishers. I'm old enough to remember when EA tried to rebrand them as surprise mechanics.
Yeah.
Illegal gambling can be harmful and lead to serious addiction problems, especially for our young people. The value of Counter-Strike skins rose significantly in recent years, attracting speculators and investors who viewed these virtual items as potentially lucrative digital assets. That is true. We've seen a single weapon command a $1 million real-world price tag on CS2's marketplace. We've watched as the game has straight up crashed over valuation. And that's just Counter-Strike. Valve's really gone full hog, some might argue, with other games that happen to have 2 in their title, Dota 2, TF2, the Attorney General's other big targets. Valve's loot box model can be especially harmful to children. They assert young users with limited funds can be enticed to start gambling through loot boxes in the hopes of attaining a virtual item that they believe will enhance their status in the game's virtual worlds.
Yeah.
Research has shown that children who are introduced to gambling are 4 times more likely to develop a gambling problem later in life than those who are not. In addition, although this case is about illegal gambling, it is important to note that Valve's promotion of games that glorify violence and guns helps fuel the dangerous epidemic of gun violence, particularly among
So now they're adding freaking gun violence in here. This is ridiculous.
young gamers who can become
This is just ridiculous.
numb to grave
I thought
violence
they were going over gambling. Why are they talking about something else now too?
before their brains are fully developed.
Yeah, I don't know,
Yikes.
man.
Oh. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Holy shit. I just can't believe they still try this. There are plenty of conversations to be had about loot box and gambling and all of that. I totally understand. That's been a conversational topic for years. This is just a dead fucking end, man. I can't believe they still bring this shit up. Actual
about the kids.
Yappuccino over nothing.
The freaking parents just do their job and not let their kids play the thing, man. It's the parents' fault. And, like, here's the thing, too. Like, okay, so, like, how's the kid gonna get access to the internet and stuff if the parents aren't paying for that stuff, like, the stuff anyways? Right? Who's gonna give the kid the freaking computer, right? It's the parents who give them the computer or the phone. It's the parents are the ones paying the bills, not the kids. So, like, you know, and, like, these days as well, like, a lot of, like, ISPs and stuff, I know here in Canada, at least, with, like, the ISPs here, they give you a freaking, by default, you get a modem from them, and, you can set up parental controls on the modem and everything pretty easily. Like, they'll have, like, an app, too, and honestly, with the Rogers one, the freaking app is awful. Because I can't just go to I can't just go into the web client and do things like port forwarding and stuff there. I have to deal with the weird jank of their crappy app there. But, like, it's super brain dead easy to just set up parental controls and block things. If I wanted to. Like, if I wanted to, like, on my thing on, like, a network level. If I was a parent, I could do that. It's, like, not hard. And again, it's like the parents are, like, paying for that shit. It should be their freaking responsibility. Like the whole thing, like, what about the children thing or whatever? That's just ridiculous. Besides, you know, even if they don't have guns, people can still get violent with other things. Right? They'll find the next thing. Oh, what's next? They get, like, they go to the kitchen, they go grab a knife. Oh no, you're gonna ban knives next? Okay, what about the fork and the forks? You gonna ban forks? Right, how about scissors? You gonna ban scissors? They can cause a lot of harm too. Right, that's why they tell you not to run with scissors, because there's sharp blades on those. You know, and then what's next? Okay, how about sticks? You know, you can get, like, a large stick and just smack someone with a stick. You gonna go ban sticks as well? Right, like, I could just go grab a branch on the tree. If I wanted to hurt someone, I could just swing that freaking branch of a tree or whatever. Like, if the people are gonna be crazy violent or whatever and cause problems, they were gonna do it regardless. You know, it doesn't matter what tool's in front of them. But yeah, either man without narcissism is welcome. We're just, like, going through the last of the reactions here before we end off. We were playing stuff earlier in the stream, but yeah, it's just a shorter stream than usual today.
I've never even understood the argument. Like, would books and movies not cause violence?
Yeah, that's also a thing, right? Books, movies, TV, TikTok stuff that people are just doom scrolling through as well.
Like Catcher in the Rye?
Yeah.
You're not old enough to remember when they tried that exact same thing. Video games is just the latest target.
Yep.
Before video games, it was movies. Before movies, it was books.
The thing is, though, that these days as well, like, video games feels like the wrong target as well. If they were gonna go this crazy rap thing, like, have you seen the freaking weird AI slop that just gets shoved in people's feeds as they go doom scrolling through Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, or TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever? There's some really weird stuff that just gets put on there. And there's, like, a lot of shorts where just they end up, there's, like, a lot of things where, like, their weird AI generated characters go and kill each other and stuff. I've seen a bunch of those, and they have them like stylized and stuff like that to look very very attractive to children, I'd say.
Like, it's always just a popular scapegoat to say this thing causes
Sounds like Jack
bad
Thompson,
stuff.
yeah, maybe.
And then in between books and movies,
And the
it was
parents should
music.
take responsibility.
Like Elvis, the devil music, stuff like that.
They're just
they've
using it as an
always
excuse
done that.
because they
It's
want to
just
spy
changing
on you and take
targets.
all your information.
Elvis was the devil, to be fair. Well, I mean, Elvis was.
Like, no, like, they're just using this as an excuse because they want to, like, push for more censorship and control and take all your information. That's why they want to do it. This isn't really for the kids. They don't give a shit about the children. Heck, I'm pretty sure a lot of the people that are responsible for trying to go after Valve and put this into place, they were probably on that island too. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's be real. Yeah, Jack Thompson had the same argument way back in the day. He must have gone behind the scenes. Yeah, the whole thing is just ridiculous. Right? Because you can just keep pointing fingers in an endless loop. The problem is on the parents.
Was a bad guy, yeah, I get that. But rock and roll, here, to broaden it, rock and roll being the devil's music. That was a very popular thing. A very popular target. So what are we predicting? A Valve winning sweep? Well, this being thrown in here is complete useless gobbledygook. This is absolute mumbo-jumbo nonsense. I don't even know why it's ham-fisted into this.
I mean, like, come on. Considering all the clowns out there in office and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised.
The actual lawsuit meat is somewhat interesting.
Yeah, he's been trying to kill violent video games in this exact army. It's ridiculous. What about movies? What about TV shows? What about, like, literally anything else? It exists in all forms of media. Oh yeah, I know.
And I'm very curious how it shakes out here.
Right, he was on the island,
This is not the
we
first
all know.
lawsuit about loot boxes and gambling, specifically about, like, gambling that minors can partake in. Like, mobile games have gone through lawsuits similar to this. And it's never, like, resulted in anything overly huge outside of, like, a couple of areas. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in this one. Valve is on a hot streak right now of W's. They just won that other lawsuit like fucking 4 days ago. Like, they've got a lot of momentum here. I wonder what Gabe Newell thinks of this lawsuit. You think he's going to leave his yacht over this one? Nah. Absolutely not.
Doesn't he have like several
He's too
yachts
busy
or
out
something?
there on the sea. Researching, shooting some hoops, grinding. I thought he sold his yacht. Did he get a new one? Do you not know about Gabe Newell and yachts? Dude loves yachts so much, he bought an entire fucking shipyard that produces the yacht that he likes. So now he has a yacht manufacturer for him.
He has a yacht manufacturing plant.
Himself.
That's crazy.
And just got a $500 million research vessel. What was the name of that shipyard, actually? Because I hope he renamed it just to make it like Gabe Newell's Fun Factory or some shit. It's a Dutch yacht builder named Ocean Co. He keeps getting sued so much he's escaping the international waters. I bet Gabe Newell...
He's escaping to international waters.
Doesn't even know that his company has been in these lawsuits. I bet he has no fucking clue.
Probably.
He just gets infinite money checks every probably quarter. I would say he probably gets paid out quarterly or something. Maybe I don't know how they do dividends over there, but he just gets infinite money.
Yeah, that
and
is
he's
true.
like,
Winning
"Alright, that's
against
cool.
the banking
Yeah, go back
dynasty is
to
impressive.
doing whatever you're doing. I'm busy. Get the fuck off my yacht. Yeah, I have no idea how this one's gonna shake out because this is like a very contentious subject. Because I mean, at the core of it, it is gambling.
Yep.
Very much so. It definitely is. Always has been. Everyone knows that. So I wonder what'll happen. Probably nothing would be my guess. They should have targeted EA, much easier to beat them. EA's already been targeted.
Target them
so
again.
I feel like
Why
they
not?
didn't want to do the same target again.
Oh, there you have it. He bought a 5090 Lightning Z and he's really disappointed. Here's why. Okay. Wait, wasn't that like that super crazy jacked up 5090 with two 16-pin connectors? whatever they were called, 12, and then the other thing, whatever. The weird, was it like the weird 12 point plus 4 pin connector that will like melt and stuff? Okay. He bought a Lightning Z and he's disappointed. I mean, like, if it was based off of instead the RTX Pro 6000 Blackwell, it would have been much faster. Because the 5090 doesn't even have the full chip on it. That would be the Pro 6000 Blackwell card. That one has like the full chip on the board. The 5090 is slightly cut down. But yeah. That said though, I think we'll just save the rest of these reacts then for another day. There's other stuff I want to like check out at another point in time though. Like I do have some of these demos and stuff like installed on my machine that we saw from the other day, right? I don't know when. Oh, let me just... Not there. Let's go in the store. Let me just look it up. There was like that MMO one, that like, the running MMO or whatever. I got the demo installed and whatever already. I haven't tried it yet. This was like from Steam Next Fest. Like the running MMO was like one of them. There was like 2 more I wanted to try at some point. There was... I saw this. I don't really know anything about it, but I saw something it might be interesting. I don't know anything about this game. Maybe we'll try it. I installed the demo, so we'll probably find a day to like try it at some point. And then there's like one more. Homura Himi. This one. I installed the demo for this one as well. This one could be interesting. This is some sort of hack and slash bullet hell ARPG. So maybe we'll try that one as well. Apparently it's actually releasing in a few days, but they have a demo. But yeah. Yeah, you're not to sound like Recorder, but you like reminding people about Jack Thompson. He hates video games like no one else. But yeah, I'm not surprised with the type of stuff you've said before. It is what it is though. But yeah, those are some stuff I want to try at some point. Maybe we'll try it like either tomorrow or Sunday maybe. After we get our regular stuff done. But yeah, after this though, I'm gonna work on getting my NTE video out. Right, I'm going to get that uploaded later, but it probably won't go live until a couple hours after that because, you know, gotta let YouTube do its thing with that stuff. But yeah, that said though, as usual though guys, thank you all for stopping by. Right, but yeah, you gotta get rid of that guy, he's anti-gamer. It's not even just that, right? They're just like using it as one way to grift. But yeah. It is what it is. That said though, again, thank you guys all for stopping by. Hopefully I can see you guys again next time. I'm gonna go get my video exported and then I'll go get some sleep. But yeah, hopefully I can see you guys next time then. Alright then. See you guys. See ya.